Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you guys are new here. Today I am sharing with you a much anticipated prep. It's freezer prep, meal prep, whatever you guys want to call it. I filmed it a while back. I have my freezer stocked full, and it actually came in really handy this week when life got really busy, and we've just had so much going on that I decided to pull some of that out. I still have tons more. I'm so excited about that. It's so nice to prep this out in advance and have this stuff for future use. So I'm going to share with you guys some super easy recipes. I'm also going to share with you guys the potatoes, the much anticipated potatoes. I cut them all up. My hands were sore afterwards, but we are done, and we have literally a whole freezer full of stuff. So if you guys are new, I'd love to have you here. I'd love to have you subscribe. I love sharing budget-friendly stuff. I love sharing things that will help you save money in the long run. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to start with this potato prepping. Oh my goodness, this took forever. You guys, I started out by just dicing these up. I made various bags. I sliced some of them up so they could be more like French fries because we like to do that. I cut some of them in little like ovals because we like the little wedge type things sometimes. I made them into cubes to do like breakfast type stuff. And originally I was just going to bag them up. I started that way, but I did worry about them browning because I have had that happen before. And yes, I'll still cook them. They still taste exactly the same if they turn brown. It's just a little repulsive to the kids when they're kind of like a purplish brown color to eat them. So I decided I was going to boil them because I did not want to flash freeze them and have to put millions of trays in my freezer. I just limited on space, honestly, and time, and that was just crazy to imagine putting this many potatoes into my freezer and how long that would take. It would take days probably to do that. So what I did was I just boiled them for a little bit and then let them cool and placed them in the freezer bags, and then I just went ahead and bagged them up, and that was really all there was to this. This was almost like a speedy way to flash freeze. So it worked very well. Everything worked. Okay guys, here it is. Once it's all said and done, I counted them, and I could have actually put less in some of these. Some I can just throw in if I want to like blend and make mashed potatoes, like cook them a little bit in the Instant Pot, make mashed potatoes. Some you can use for breakfast potatoes because they're diced up. I did go ahead and cook all these on the stove, as you saw. I didn't want to flash freeze them because you have to flash freeze them all spread out on trays for 6 to 12 hours. And if you do that, that's 6 to 12 hours for each sheet tray. This would take me probably a week to do with all these potatoes. So what I had to do was I had to go through and dice them up, and you saw alternate them. And I didn't film all of that, but you had to go through. And so while I was dicing some of them, I had a bowl that I would put the other ones in so I could boil them, and then I would scoop those and bag them and then just recircle and freeze. So yes, it will help. I've never done that before, but these I froze earlier. As you can see, there's no brown on those. So they said you don't have to flash freeze stuff. You can just boil them for like 2 to 3 minutes and then bag them, and that will keep them from turning brown. So this in all, like I said, I paid $24 for 50 pounds of potatoes. There were some rotten ones in there, so I did have to throw away some potatoes. But overall, all of these bags, and look at this, there was 29 bags of the big freezer bags of potatoes. So yes, a lot of elbow grease, but so totally worth it. 29, wow. So definitely recommend doing it because look at that. I don't have to worry about dicing potatoes for like ever. So super excited about this, guys. Okay guys, so this is going to be such an easy recipe, and it is used for so many different things here. So what I'm taking is, yes, that is 4 pounds of real beef. Can you believe that, guys? That's what I got on sale that time when it was really cheap, and I just stuck it in the fridge, some of it in the fridge, some of it in the freezer. So all I'm doing is taking 4 pounds of beef, 6 garlic cloves, but who's counting that? I just throw in garlic powder, honestly, because I was out of garlic cloves this day. And I brown that together, and then what I'm going to do is drain all that nasty grease that's left over. I'm adding in You know, like in Cincinnati, I do make a skyline chili. You can make it and put it on spaghetti. I know that might sound weird to some of you, but that's what people do. So I don't like it personally, but other people do. But then once that is done cooking, what we're going to do is make a slurry to kind of thicken this a little bit more. You're supposed to use a half cup of masa harina, or if that's even how you say it, or corn flour, or just regular cornmeal. That's what I'm doing. And you mix it with water. And then you're just going to combine that, and it just thickens it, and it gives it that like perfect texture. So once we're done with this, we're going to bag these up, and we'll actually let them cool first, and then you can freeze them. And then as you see, there are those hot dogs we had for dinner because I was already cooking, guys. Okay guys, would it even be worth making a video if I didn't have some sort of taco in this? So I'm shortening this. You can do this in your crock pot. You can do this on the stove. You can do this however you want. I'm going to throw all these in the Instant Pot because I was running low on cooking space and time. So I'm taking 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You can take a fourth a cup of taco seasoning. I'm just dumping a whole bunch in because I love taco seasoning. I took 2 packets. Then you need 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, salt, and you can take several dashes of hot sauce like Tabasco or whatever you kind of want. Usually I don't have Tabasco. I'm not a big fan of Tabasco. I prefer to keep the sriracha on hand. As you see, I'm using sriracha because that is my go-to like sauce. So all I'm going to do is add a little bit of water in there. That way it doesn't completely burn, because you always have to add like at least half a cup of water. And then I'm just cooking it in the Instant Pot. Once it's done, I'm just going to shred it, and then I'm going to let it cool, and I'm going to bag it up because it's going to be ready to go taco chicken meat. And this is perfect because I literally ran out of time one night and options, and I just heated this up real quick, threw it in my Instant Pot, heated it, and we combined it with like wraps and rice and stuff and had an instant dinner. You will thank yourself later if you do this prep ahead of time. Okay guys, of course we did chicken taco. Let's do beef taco because you can make chicken nachos with the chicken stuff or chicken burritos. With this, you can do kind of the same thing. Just make beef burritos, make beef tacos, make beef nachos, you know, anything. Beef Mexican pizza, just that way this is already prepped out. So we are taking, yes, once again, 4 pounds of real ground beef, but feel free to use turkey, chicken, whatever you guys like. And then we're going to take 2 cans of Mexican red sauce or red enchilada sauce. I will say I'm not a huge fan of that. I never have been, so I'm making my own combination here. I'm dicing up an onion because you need some onion. I'm adding in cayenne pepper. You need a teaspoon of it, a tablespoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, 2 teaspoons of salt, and then a tablespoon of black pepper. Because I did not have enchilada sauce, what I'm using is just some crushed tomatoes, and then I've thrown in some green chilies because I already had them on hand, if you guys remember me stockpiling that, and I've thrown some beans in. So this is a little different than the standard beef taco filling, but like I said, make it how you want it. Make it for your family's needs. And I'm throwing in a couple things of taco seasoning, actually more than a couple. I'm throwing in 1 per pound, so you'll see me throwing in 4 of these taco seasoning packets because I love the flavor of taco seasoning mix. Plus it's inexpensive. It's 37 cents at Aldi. So then I'm just going to cook this through all the way through, and you guys know we use taco meat all the time. I threw the beans in. This wasn't part of the recipe, just to give it a little bit more fiber and to give it a little bit more flavor, to kind of bulk it up a little bit, because you can stretch your dollar, you know, and this literally only takes like 50 cents for a can of that. So there you guys can see it. Then I'm just gonna let it cool and bag it up, and it's ready to go, and your freezer is completely full of dinner ideas for a while. And I just don't have enough awesome things to say about freezer prepping out meals like this. Okay friends, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some motivation to just go and like find stuff when it's on sale and prep it out, because it will save you so much money and so much time in the long run, especially when like things just happen and you need something quick. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next one. I love you all.